Hi, it's Karon Thackston with marketingwords.com, and I have Manny Coates with me from Helium 10 today. Hi.
Hello.
I invited Manny to come on because Helium 10 has grown so much over the last couple of years that I wanted to be sure you knew everything that was now available in this suite of Amazon seller tools. I came across Helium 10, Manny, I don't even think you know this. I came across Helium 10, I would say at least 3 or 4 years ago, somewhere around that time frame, when Marketing Words, which is a copywriting agency, was looking for tools that could help dedupe the search term section of a listing back when it was 5,000 characters and you had all this stuff going on, because you would just get a migraine trying to go through manually and sort through the search terms. And we tried at least 8 or 10 different deduping tools, paid and free, and then came across Frankenstein, was the first one that you introduced a few years ago, and absolutely loved it because it handled case-sensitive issues. It handled plurals versus singulars, and a lot of the others, even the paid tools, didn't do that. And then when you came out with Scribbles, my copywriting team just went nuts, because everything can, when we're writing the listings, you know, everything can just be put in as we write it and click, 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 boom. And here's your keywords that go into the search term section, and everything is nice and neat. And it just made it so much easier. Because we're not Amazon sellers, we don't use some of the other tools. And I wanted you to explain those and just walk us through. But tell me, if you will, a little bit about Helium 10, where it came from and how old that company is, and show us some of the cool stuff that's in this suite of tools.
Sure, absolutely. Thank you for having me on the show. I appreciate that. I know we've run into each other at conferences, and so this is a cool opportunity to hopefully bring a lot of value to people, because there's a lot of differences between two what might look like identical tools or similar tools that I'm going to show can be, you know, completely different. But I started selling on Amazon personally about 2.5 years ago. And when I was doing that, the landscape was missing a lot of tools. As you mentioned, Frankenstein was a tool that there was just nothing good out there that did what I wanted. So we created, actually Scribbles was the first tool that we created. And it's a funny story for this. And this wasn't Helium 10 yet. I don't think it was Helium 10. It was just kind of like I was doing periscopes, and I was just kind of talking about my journey. I started the podcast, right? We have a AM/PM podcast where I was kind of chronicling everything that I was doing, and failures as well. And one of the mistakes that I made was I would have an Excel sheet, and I'd have all the keywords, right? I would use, I think I was using, I forget what it was. It was one of the keyword tools that were out there, but I had all the keywords in my Excel sheet, and then I would start writing my listings. And as I would try to use each word, and as I use it, I would delete it, use it, delete it, right? I think everybody was doing this back then. And then I would all be done, and I'm like, all right, this looks pretty good. I'm going to step away for a little bit and come back. And then you know how when you're gone for like an hour and you come back and you read it, and you're like, man, that sounds weird. I don't know why I wrote that. So you go back in and you edit, right? So I'd have to delete. I'm like, I'm going to delete it from here and move it over here. So what ended up happening is I think I took one of the main keywords and I deleted it from the title to move it somewhere else. And I probably got a phone call or something happened. I got interrupted. And when I came back, I forgot that I had deleted it, right? So I'm like looking at it going, okay, moving things around. So for the longest time, this listing goes live without one of my primary keywords in there. And I don't realize this for a while, for a long time. So I lost all of these sales because I didn't have this keyword in there. So I'm like, afterwards, I'm like, I figured it out, fixed it. And I'm like, I need to create a tool, because I came from the mobile games industry. So I had programmers stuff. I'm like, I'm going to create something that allows me to paste all my keywords into it, so I don't have to use Excel. And then as I'm actually creating my listing, my title, my bullet points, my back-end keyword and all that, it starts eliminating the keywords as I'm typing them. So I don't have to worry about copying and pasting. And then if I go back and I change something and I delete the keyword, right, it'll automatically stick it back in there. So I never lose it. That was kind of the idea. And so that's how Scribbles was born. It saved me a ton of money, a ton of time. And then Frankenstein, the keyword processor, came right after that. And we called it Frankenstein, by the way. We have these weird names for things, but Frankenstein, everybody knows it's a monster. It's made up of a bunch of different parts, right? This body, an arm from this guy and a leg from him. So that's kind of what your keywords are. Your keywords are a bunch of parts, and they don't really work well until you go in and you put everything together and you clean up. And once you got it all together, you've got your Frankenstein. Your listing is awesome. And that's kind of how we came up with the name. As weird as it is.
Thank you for Scribbles. That is my very favorite, and the Marketing Words team, all the writers on the team love Scribbles. When I sent them their logins and whatever and said, go take a look at this, watch this video over here and see what it does, and go take a look at this, everybody was like, oh, yay. So yeah, you scored big time on this end. We have been using that for years and love it.
Very cool. And I'm excited to show some of the other tools, because when we started, when we got to a third tool, what was the third tool? I believe it was our first keyword tool, Magnet. And then we started charging for, that's when Helium 10 was born. And then we've now got over 20 tools, and the price has always stayed the same. So we've always been trying to deliver more and more value without, we're trying to help everybody so that they can do everything in one place. Because that's one thing, that's the other thing I hated. I don't know if you experience this or not, but having to jump over here and use this tool and then grab that information and bring it over into this tool and then do it here. And then, I hate that. Yeah, you don't have to worry about that with Helium 10.
Yeah, because all of yours are interconnected. You can walk through the process, and this one trickles into that one and clicks over here, and you get everything all in one place. So that's really cool. Yeah, we have had to, not for researching products and things of that nature, but in other instances, we've had bits and pieces hacked together software, and it's a pain. It's so much easier to do it all in one place.
Yeah, we'll click one button and it moves your keywords into the next tool, and then you go from there. That's the way it should be.
Cool. Well, take off here. Let's share your screen, so we can see what you're doing, and show us around, because I'm interested to see. We always get people that are asking for more referrals, and because of the experiences that I've had with Frankenstein and Scribbles and Magnet, we've used Magnet too. People are always saying, what can I do for this? And I signed up as an affiliate because I'm a firm believer in what you guys are doing, and I send people your way all the time. And I have not had folks come back and say, this is not good stuff. You really shouldn't be recommending this. I have had that happen with other products and I stopped promoting them, but I'm happy to be an affiliate of yours, because this is high quality stuff.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. And that's one of the big things at our company is we want to make sure that 100% of every single user that we have that's paying is 100% satisfied. If they're not, they can cancel, they can get a refund. I mean, we just want to make sure that, everybody's taken care of. But can you see my screen right now?
Yep, can do.
Cool. So there's two sets of tools with Helium 10, the way it works. Okay. So we're logged into the members area right now. So we have all these tools right here. Also, if you mouse over to the left, we have tools over here. We also have a Chrome extension that, I don't know if you can see this, if the video will be covering it, but it's up here in the top right corner. There's like a little blue button up here. Mm-hmm. If you click on that while you're in Chrome, it brings up other tools that you can actually use when you're on Amazon doing searches and things. And we're going to show you how to do that in a little bit. But right now we'll focus on the tool set over here. We've organized this in an order that we think most Amazon sellers would actually use the tools in. So for example, Black Box is an Amazon product research tool. So that's kind of like the top of the funnel where you're at, right? These are people that are just starting out and need to find a product, right? They don't even know what product they want yet. Okay. So that's what Black Box does. It's got 450 million plus products in there. And then you're going to type in filters, and I'm going to show you this in a second on how to actually come up with product ideas. From there, there's a tool within the extension, which we're going to show later on, which is X-Ray, which is going to be how to do product validation. We'll skip this one for right now, but then we've got keyword research. So once you have a product, then you want to do keyword research, right? So we have Magnet, which is a keyword research tool, and we have Cerebro, which is also a keyword research tool, but it's more for spying on your competitors and pulling up their keywords so that you can see what you want to add to your listing. Then after that, you want to optimize all these keywords and get them all into a nice, clean order, and that's where Frankenstein comes in, which we talked about. Scribbles is a listing optimizer, so that you go in and you can actually tweak your listing and make it all pretty and awesome. 5K checker is index checking, so that's what that means is it's going to go to Amazon and see if Amazon sees a keyword phrase as being relevant to your listing. So if you're not being indexed, then Amazon typically won't show your product in the search results for that keyword. So that's important. Right. And this used to take, by the way, this tool ended up saving us a ton of time. It used to take us about 8 hours to do a listing manually, and this does it in about 10 seconds. So it's pretty cool. We have keyword tracker. So that's when you want to start tracking your keywords and see where you're ranking for each of the things. This is important if you start doing sponsored ads or Facebook ads or anything like that. And you want to see if your ranking starts moving up, right? If you have a primary keyword that can drive a lot of organic sales and you're on page 3, what can you do to actually get that to page 1 so that you can get all that free traffic? Hijacker Alert is essentially when you have people that jump on your listing and take your sales. That protects you there. Inventory Protector, we probably won't get into too much, but that basically very quickly sets limits on how many units somebody can order of your product, so that if you're doing coupons or promotions or a launch or anything, you don't have somebody come in and take 999 units all at once. This happens all the time when people mess up.
It does.
Yeah. So this will protect you with that. And you can actually select all of your ASINs at once if you want, and put one and it'll do, hours of work in 2 seconds. Super cool. And then Refund Genie is the last one we'll talk about. And that is essentially an awesome tool that gets you back money from Amazon once you've been selling for a while, because Amazon loses inventory, they damage inventory, and they're really good at actually refunding you and getting you the money. But sometimes something slips through. And if you have enough volume, you should be owed money. I got back over $20,000 from Amazon running this tool. So yeah, that in itself, that just pays for a lot of stuff. So that's pretty cool. All right. So that's what we're going to be talking about. Let me just jump into this really quick. Okay. You want me to just go ahead and go in the order real quick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Walk us through.
All right. So we click in the black box. Oh, and I want to, let me go back real quick. Sorry. The tools are also over here. And so the cool thing about this is that you can put things in the order that you want. So if I say, Scribbles is my favorite tool, I can click this and move it right up here. And now Scribbles in the top. So you can actually customize this to however you want. I'll put it back where it was. Yeah, it's good. There's an introduction video as well to help you get going. Okay, so Black Box is a tool for product discovery. I want to sell on Amazon. I have no idea what I want to sell. So I go into a category, and let's say I know I want to be in the baby category. I can hit the baby, okay? And then I've got these filters here, and I could say, okay, I want to find a product that has at least, let's say, $8,000 per month in sales, and it sells between $20 and $80. Okay, that's the price on Amazon, and it doesn't have any more than let's say 300 reviews. Okay, now there's advanced filters here. I can click and I can put a bunch of stuff in there. We're going to leave this blank for right now, and I can hit search. So it's going to search for something that has $8,000 per month. You can see the monthly revenue over here. Okay, the review count, the top number here can't be over 300, so you can see 63, 259, 110, and this is giving me ideas now. Okay, and I can go through and I can say, okay, what is this? This colorful ball, soft diplex. These are balls for kids. This generates 9,800 per month. We got this, what is this? Baby bathtub. I guess it's a bathtub for babies. Okay. Does 12,000 per month. You got some, you got a lot of stuff, a little bouncer, some body wash. So this now is, I might not have ever thought of like, oh man, I never thought of, I don't know, this thing right here. Right. I'm like,
whatever that is.
Yeah, it looks like it's an animal of fishes or something like that. But, yeah, this could be something that I can then go out and try to do some additional research on and find out if it's good. Now, if I want to do even more research, I could go in here because you can see up here it says 200 plus products found. Okay, I can sort, by the way, with all kinds of different columns to bring things up. But let's say I can use like a keyword search. I could say, okay, I want to make sure that it has the word bibs in the title. I hit search. Now it's going to narrow this down even further, okay? 200 plus could be 201 products, or it could be 20,000 products. It could be a lot. So now it's going through 450 million products. It's the largest database on the planet right now. And it's narrowed that down to 5 products. So 5 products, okay, have the word bibs in it and meet all the other criteria, which was at least $8,000 and had less than 300 reviews. So we have a baby bandana drool bib, or I guess that should be drool bibs. They wrote that wrong, drool bibs. And then this thing down here. So, but it's crazy, right? I mean, this thing here, these bibs do, they're white bibs and they do $18,000 per month. So
and all of that took about, 6 seconds, I guess.
Yeah, it's super fast. And again, you can go through, I can find stuff. There's some crazy stuff. Let's say that I wanted to find things in the baby category that, and you could search by weight, number of sellers, best sales period of the month. But let's just say there's another one that's super cool. Nobody has this. Number of images. If somebody, and we all know people like this, they get into Amazon and they somehow luck into a product. Like they don't know what they're doing. They get a product and they're like, man, I'm selling $30,000 per month. but they only have one image, right? And their listing's not that optimized. Check this out. I can say I want the max images to be just one image. I want to find listings that only have one image, that also do $8,000 per month, that have less than 300 reviews. And check this out. There's 115 products that fit this. So if I click into this shampoo and body wash does $17,000 a month. It only has 9 reviews. Okay, sells for $52. It's crazy. So let me click into it. Check this out. This is it. One image. Okay, and you do optimization here. Look at these bullet points.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That. Wow.
So
Amazon choice too.
Yeah. So could you not come in and dominate this? I mean, they only have one image. There's no lifestyle photo here. There's no anything, right? It's crazy.
Yeah, cool.
So that's what Black Box does. While we're here, one of the things that this extension does, the Helium 10 Chrome extension, which by the way, everybody can download. It's free to actually install and start using. It does this kind of stuff. It puts these graphs in here so I can see at a glance. I can see it 1 year here, for example, and I can see where the sales rank was, right? I can see their price points. I can see if their price points are changing, okay? And it's really cool to get some analytics. So for example, I might want to find out if a product is seasonal. And if I see it spike in a certain month, I might be like, oh, this only sells really well during Valentine's Day or Mother's Day or the summer or whatever. So this is really cool. I can also pull up inventory levels to see how much inventory they have if we want. We won't get into that right now. But that's Black Box. So then once you have a product, then you can go in and you can validate it, okay? So let's just say, by the way, as you find products in here, there's these little pins, okay? If you're interested in something, I can, let's say I'm like, this is really interesting. I want to come back to it. I can pin that. It says my product has been added to my list. And I have a My List button up here. If I click into that, it actually brings up all the products that I have been interested in that I'm looking at. There's another Baby Bibs one, right? And I can come back to this later, right? But if let's say Baby Bibs is what I'm interested in, right? I'm like, this is pretty cool. I go to Amazon. Okay, we'll bring to the main page, and I type in Baby Bibs, and I want to verify the market a little bit. Okay, couple things happening here. You see this information right above each listing. This is not normally there. Okay, Amazon doesn't give you this, but we give you this. Helium 10 puts this information in right, so you have it at a glance, and I can see what their BSR is, right? I can see where they're ranking and which subcategories they're in, how many sellers there are. I have their ASIN right here, so if I want to grab it. And I also know the Amazon fees right off the bat, $6.04 for this product, okay, based on their sales price. So this is all available to you right here. Now, the other thing I can do is I can click on the icon, the Chrome extension icon, and I can click on X-ray, okay? X-ray, like a machine that lets you see the insides of bodies. This is what X-ray is doing to Amazon products. It's letting you see the inner workings of all the products that are showing up on this search results page, okay? So I get to see now estimates, and very good estimates, on how much revenue each of these products makes. I can mouse over the products and see which products they are. And I can say, wow, this one right here, the one that I saw, does $137,000 per month. Okay, so that's pretty crazy. Now they have a lot of reviews. I wouldn't go against these guys, but it's interesting to see how much sales they have. And I can actually click into these charts to break down even further. I can see how many sales they have per day: 245, 254, 261. They're dropping down over here: 151, 222. So you have daily sales as well. And then from here, we can also click on these thumbtacks to save to my list. So at the top, it gives you kind of a quick rundown. If a lot of people are familiar with Jungle Scout and some of those tools, this replaces that. You're going to get very accurate data. It's part of the Helium 10 suite. It tells you how much money the entire first page is generating combined, 591,000. And we even have a success score. Not very good, obviously, for Baby Bibs. If you mouse over it, it kind of tells you why. Okay, low profit niche because the prices are so low, and there's a lot of competition, a lot of reviews. So that's X-ray, and I use X-ray like crazy. So you use Black Box first, then X-ray to validate, and then when you find the product, then you go on to the next step. So okay, so cool. So we'll go back to Helium 10 here, the main menu. Once you're done with Black Box, we can go into keyword research, and I know you do a lot of this for everything that you're working on. Two keyword tools. One's called Magnet, it's like a keyword magnet. And then that's the one we're going to focus on right now. That's if you already know the keyword phrase that you want to go after. So for example, if I typed in let's type in camping tent. Okay. Oops. It says I already searched camping tent. I searched this before, so it's asking me you searched this before. I'm going to do a new search, so it's live and fresh. Okay, so here we go. So this is what's really cool and what sets us apart from a lot of other keyword tools that are out there. We're giving you exact volume search, okay, on Amazon, okay, not from Bing or Google or a made-up number like most tools out there do. This is actual Amazon data that you can count on, and this is going to be important for when you do launches. I don't know if we'll have enough time, but we have these columns over here called CPR giveaways, and that is when you're doing an actual product launch. But check this out. This is going to give you ideas of keyword phrases that you might not have thought of, like camping tent. There's glamping gear, okay, or cool camping gear. Tents on sale, large winter tent. We also have related words over here. So we know Coleman's a brand. If I click on any of these things, it'll actually bring up just those keywords with that phrase in here, right? So I can say, if I click on LED, for example, okay, LED camping label, not really. You have to go through here and kind of see if this is going to be something that actually fits what you want. Now, obviously, with camping tents, people need LED lights for the inside, so that's why this stuff's coming up. If I get rid of this, what I like to do is I like to search. Oops, let me apply this. Get rid of LED. I like to sort by exact phrase search volume. So I click exact phrase search volume, and now I check this out, Karen. I have the highest searched things in order. And I typed in camping tent, which had 64,000, right? But check this out. Tents for camping, here's camping tent. Tents for camping has even more search volume than camping tent. So maybe this should be my main phrase if I'm going for that, right? And then, of course, there's even higher search term stuff, but it's not as precise, right? It's camping gear and camping accessories. This certainly is those two things, but I'd probably go for tents for camping. That's what more people are searching for.
Yeah,
okay?
more relevant.
More relevant. You have pop-up tent. 57,000. I might not have thought of that. Inflatable mattress is something that goes into a camping tent. So you just go through here and you kind of figure out what works. If you see something that you don't like let's say I don't want tent fan, you can just click the X and it's gone. Okay. And there's also,
this would also be a very good tool to use if you were looking for bundles. I mean, I'm seeing you've got tents for camping, but if you wanted to differentiate yourself, you might include a camping lantern or an air bed or a camping fan.
Right.
Or something like that as well, and make a bundle out of it. Absolutely.
That's a fantastic idea. So if you want to differentiate and you want to be unique, right, do some bundles. And this really does give you a lot of ideas to actually come in and figure things out. Now, this is showing you all the results. You can see over here on the right, there's 4,582 phrases. I mean, that's a ton of keywords. If I want to narrow this down, I can say, okay, I want phrases that have at least 4 words in them. Let's say we're going long tail. If I hit apply, okay, 4,500 drops to 2,289. Now it's only going to show phrases that have 4 words or more. Okay. And again, the search volume is still pretty good on some of these. Camping tents, 4 people. That's what people are searching for up here. Okay. If you want to go back to the original, hit 2, hit apply, and then you're done. Okay. The Magnet IQ score is just basically it's the higher the number, the better, and it's the number of searches relative to the number of competing products. So I don't really use this that much. I go for exact phrase. I sort by largest to smallest, and then I kind of go through manually. And it takes some time. If you want a really good listing that's going to crush it, just spend some time and go through and take out stuff that you don't think is good. And then when you're done, you can take all of these keywords and you can export them, right? And there's an export button up here, guys.
Yep.
You can export, you can go to CSV, to Excel, or to Frankenstein. Okay, if I click the Frankenstein, we talked about that. It's going to take all of those keywords and it brings them all into Frankenstein. This is what Karon was saying. She was saying she uses. Look at all of these words, 16,000 words. So you can go in here and you can now say, okay, I only want the unique individual words. It's going to remove, like there's only going to be one camping. There's camping like crazy. If I go down here and I hit process, because it's removing duplicates, see that? It's taking total words from 16,000 down to 917. Yeah. So these are all individual single words in here. Okay. If I want to put commas, add commas, no space, I can click that, hit process. It's instantaneous now, guys. That's how fast it is. Okay. If I want to remove ASINs, if there's ASINs in here, you can do that. There's a lot of stuff that you can do. We won't get into all the features here, but this is super powerful. Let's just say, just to kind of, let me get rid of most of these just to kind of make it manageable. Okay. So we've got just these keywords in here. If I wanted to, I could say maintain phrases. Okay. One per line. And let's say I wanted to add the word best in front of everything. I can click here, hit start at the beginning, type best and process, and check this out. I now have all these keywords with the word best in front of it. So you can play with this. You can add keywords to the end, to the beginning. You can do all kinds of things. Very, very powerful. So that's Frankenstein for you guys. Definitely recommend using it. We'll jump back over to Cerebro because that's the second keyword tool. And the way this works is, let's just say, let's go to Amazon and type in camping tent. Cerebro is a keyword spy tool, I guess, for your competitors. So let's just say that this is, let's find one that's got a good amount of reviews. This one right here. I'm going to grab the ASIN for this. Okay. I'm going to copy it and I'm going to go into Cerebro. And Cerebro, I guess it's Cerebro is a Spanish word for brain. So you can, it's also, I think, a superhero. But anyways, you put the ASIN in here. You put the ASIN in here. I know we're all nerds over here at the office. You have organic results and sponsor results. This is going to be super powerful because sponsor results was just added. But I put the ASIN, I hit reverse search. Okay, you can select if you want Amazon.com or if you're going into the UK. And check this out now. Now I have 1,000, over here on the right, 1,925 keywords that this ASIN, this product, is actually ranking for. And I have the search volume, I have everything else. And I can still sort. As long as you're a paid member, you can sort. If you're a free member, I don't think you can sort anything. But check this out. It's super cool. It even tells me which ones they have Amazon Choice on. How cool is that, right?
It is very cool. And let me ask you this. Explain to everybody, reverse ASIN tools a year or two ago started to get pretty bad reputations because they were notoriously inaccurate. And people were seeing that when they would just go in, and I know this is one problem, but they would go in, they would scrape all the keywords, they would just shove them in when we used to have 5,000 characters in the back end, and away they'd go without doing anything else. So tell me why this one is accurate and what you've done to ensure that the results from Cerebro are not going to lead somebody astray.
Okay, so multiple things here I want to say. So first of all, I use Magnet primarily for my keywords. I use Cerebro to see what my competitors are actually ranking for, because competitors are going to be they might know a slang word or a Spanish word or something that Magnet might not pick up that they put into their listing and they're generating sales on. So this is going to uncover those, and I'll be like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. I didn't even think about this keyword. So I'm going to grab that keyword and I'm going to use it in my listing. Now, this is accurate because what it's doing is it's taking this ASIN, this product, and it's finding the words that this product is actually ranking for. So any keyword in here, this product shows up in the search results page. In fact, over here on the very right side, okay, it shows the position of where this keyword, where this product ranks for this keyword. So if you go in and you type in best camping tents, this product right here should be in position 1, or it was in position 1 within the last 7 to 30 days. Now, obviously, Amazon changes things constantly, right? So you might be in position 1 in the morning and position 5 in the afternoon, and you fluctuate. You jump around a lot. So in the last 7 to 30 days, this was number 1. So we actually show you the position. We're not making anything up like a lot of other tools. You talked about things being inaccurate. Now, that said, just because there's a keyword phrase that this product's ranking for doesn't mean it's a great keyword. It could be a terrible keyword that they have in their listing somewhere in their description. For example, let me give you an example, super weird example. Let's say I'm selling this tent and I say, this tent is so comfortable, even Darth Vader would love it, right?
Yes.
Now, Darth Vader, let's say Darth Vader tent, might actually now rank on Amazon. It probably would, right? Mm-hmm. And this will show this. It'll show Darth Vader tent, and it gets 2 searches per month or something like that. I probably don't want to use Darth Vader tent on my listing. Okay. So I wouldn't just copy everything on here and throw it in my list. You have to use common sense, go through. I always tell people when I'm doing any kind of training, spend time on your keywords. This should be something that you spend days on because it's the lifeblood of your product, right? Go through and eliminate stuff and just kind of focus on the top stuff, the best things. You don't need 5,000 keywords. You probably get away.
That's what I was looking for you to say. This is not a tool that you're supposed to just scoop up everything that appears on the screen and shove it in which it wouldn't all fit anymore. But,
no.
So this is, if I'm understanding you correctly, and I just want to reinforce this with everybody, tools like these are not necessarily for keyword research. They're for keyword ideas. And Magnet and go into the process here to actually do your keyword research and make your final decisions.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. So you have to decide, and your product has to be, you want it to stand out for specific keywords. So whatever your product is, go through, make sure that things are relevant. It used to be in the old days, you try to cram as much as possible. Now you want relevancy. You want to really dial in. It's better to focus on that, the 20% of the keywords that generate 80% of your revenue, right? The 20-80 rule. And it's going to make it easier for you. You don't need to try to squeeze out every single keyword phrase to try to eke out every sale, because that's going to dilute your listing. In my opinion, I think you should focus on some of the important stuff. So this is, we can go through. Here's an example right here, number 8. It says camping tent. Okay, so this is actually a typo. Okay. But that typo has 43 exact searches per month. And by the way, you can't get this data through sponsored ads. Amazon will take this typo and it will throw it into camping tent. So when you look at your exact phrase, sponsored results page to get keywords, it will never show you this. It'll actually show you camping tent, and it'll lump this in there. It'll lump in the plurals, the singulars. The number will be bigger because it's putting everything in. But I can actually see, wow, this actually gets 43 searches. Okay. So if you wanted to put a typo in your listing, I guess you potentially can, but I probably wouldn't. I wouldn't use this. Okay. And I would just go through here. And if I don't have a dome tent, I'm not going to use a dome tent, right? Why would I use dome tent if my tent is not a dome tent? Even though it gets 2,300 results, right? So,
well, and people try to cover all the bases, and the thinking sort of makes sense. If people are looking for a dome tent, maybe they might want a pop-up tent, or something to that effect. If they're just looking for tents, maybe they're consumer shopping and trying to make up their minds. It's possible, but not probable. But when you're driving traffic to terms that do not represent your product well, people hit the page, they go, this is not a dome tent, and there they go. So they're bouncing off. And Amazon is paying attention to every single solitary click. So eventually your conversion rate is going to drop, your rankings are going to drop, and it will turn around to bite you in the butt because you went too broad and tried to cover too much with your keywords. I agree with Manny, going relative is a much better strategy.
Yeah, I think if you cover too much, let's just say you're covering 2,000 keywords, but you're on page 2 for all of them. You just don't get any sales. Whereas if you can be on page 1 for one keyword at the very top, you can drive thousands of sales per month. So it's a matter of how you look at it. And you're absolutely right. We do that. Like we had tactical flashlight and police baton was coming up, right? And we're like, police baton. I go, people buy those things together. It's a tactical weapon that goes with a tactical flashlight. But I can guarantee you, if someone's typing in police baton and your flashlight comes up, you're going to get less sales than an actual police baton listing. So yeah, that relevancy is not there, and that could potentially hurt you down the road. So we try to we're trying to focus on the good stuff. Now, Amazon's Choice, a lot of people it's hard to find all the keywords for Amazon's Choice. We can now actually just click right here. I can click this button and say apply. And I can see every single Amazon Choice this product has. They have 133 Amazon's Choice keywords. So I can go through. I can sort by exact search volume if I want to. Tents for camping tent. So they got some pretty cool stuff. And here's the other cool thing, and then we'll move on. But if I put the ASIN back in here, we can click on sponsored results now and do a reverse search. Okay. And this is actually going to show us keywords that we've found this product actually showing up for when you do a search in terms of paid advertising. So these are all the keywords. Now there's a ton of keywords, 3,320. Because this number is over 300 or 200, what this is telling me is these guys are most likely running an auto campaign. Okay, so it's going to be pulling up all kinds of weird stuff. So remember you talked about doing bundles. I saw inflatable bed, beach inflatable bed. They actually show up as sponsored ads for that keyword. So this will give you an idea of what your competitors are bidding on. And this is really important because a lot of people will teach, hey, you got to start your auto campaign so that Amazon gives you all the keywords initially so that you can then take that and figure things out. That's still a great idea, and I recommend that. But you can start off by doing this. If you go in and you have your VA go through and take the top 20 or 30 products in your niche and run this and then take those the keywords that are showing up here, you can actually start off running some phrase and broad match campaigns right off the bat. So it's kind of neat.
That's cool.
So that's Cerebro. Any questions on this one before I move on?
No, but could you go back to Magnet for a second? I'm going to show 2 of my favorite features in here.
Okay. What's a keyword? What do you want me to type in?
Just baby bibs is fine. Anything is all. Yeah.
Okay.
And then you can go into the fields that say show phrases that contain, and you can type in a particular word, or over beside it, exclude phrases that contain. When we get into situations where the product is a private label product, but most of the popular key phrases contain brand names, or in a lot of other situations, it is so helpful to be able to say exclude Sony or whatever the brand name might be that we're dealing with, and everything that has Sony in it comes out. So those two and the little X's, being able to get rid of the key phrases so you don't have to keep scrolling past them, is just enormously helpful.
Yeah, that's great. Like if you're selling shoes, you're going to want to put in exclude phrases. You probably want to put Adidas and Nike and all the, all the different things. Let's just assume here. So we have 3,055 searches. Let's just say the word drool was a brand. Okay. I don't think it is, but if it was, I can put that in exclude phrases, hit apply, and that 3,055 now drops to 2,810. It's removed every single phrase that has the word drool in it. So, and you can also just put a comma, and I can type in, let's say it's teether and comma, and I can put in toys. Like maybe you want to get rid of stuff that just you don't want to show up. Right. Hit apply with those commas. Now this number drops down to 27. So it's been removing these. Yeah. Now I can actually, with this, I can say, okay, I only want words or phrases that have the word baby in it. Okay, and hit apply. That 27 now drops to 1,006. So I have all this. If I want to expand this to only words that have 4 keywords or four words in it, hit apply. It keeps reducing it. See, so I can keep going through. It's just powerful. And then up here, we didn't cover this either, but the top products, these are the top 3 products for the word baby bib that have shown over I think it's the last few months, or it might be the last month. I'm not quite sure on this. It's not what's number 1, number 2, and number 3 right now. All of these are probably in the number 1 spot for the most amount of time. So these, you can go, oh, this is interesting. And I can click this right here. Brings me right back into Cerebro. It's loaded, ready to go. Just hit reverse search, and then it'll actually pull up the data. So Magnet, again, we talked about tools, talking to other tools. That Magnet is actually coordinating with Cerebro to get this, and then from Cerebro or for Magnet, either one, you can export to Frankenstein, and then from Frankenstein, you can export into Scribbles. So yeah. All right. So let's just say, let me export this to Frankenstein, by the way, because we're going to go into Scribbles now. And there's just way too many things here. So let me just get rid of some of these just to make it manageable for everybody to see what's going on. Okay. So I'm going to maintain phrases, process this. Okay. Now down here, there's a button called Scribbles. Okay. Now Scribbles is the tool that Karon was talking about earlier that her and her team really love right here. Mm-hmm. And if I click on Scribbles, okay, it's going to take all these keywords. Now you can copy and paste in here. Okay. This is what I was talking about at the beginning when we first started. I said I would take all my keywords and paste them in here. Now these are all the unique keywords in here. Okay. As I've got a title field, a description, I've got my bullet points over here on the right, and I got my back-end search terms right here. Yep. As I'm typing my keyword in here, let's say I say, this is not how I'd write a title, but let's say awesome. Awesome doesn't do anything, right? Because the word awesome is not in my phrase over here. But as soon as I type in baby, okay, you can see the word baby moved out of this box and moved into the bottom box here. Baby bibs, age 1, 2, 3, whatever. Okay, you would create your title here, and you can see that any keywords that are up here are now that I used are in here. Your goal is to use all of these keywords, okay, and all of these sections here until these are gone. When there's nothing left up here, you know your job is done. You've put all of your keywords in there, and you're finished. Now check this out. Let's just say I say, oh, I don't like the word bibs in the title. I want to move it in my bullet points. So if I delete this, right? Bibs that used to be here is now back up here. It's moved back in. So I can go into the bullet point and say, these colorful bibs come in 10 packs, right? So now bibs got used, the word 10 got used because it was up here. And I would keep doing this over and over with all the things I have. Now, the other cool thing you can do, I don't know if you guys use this, Karon, is as you're typing out your bullet points, a lot of people will do something like colorful bibs dash perfect for babies, or something like that, let's just say. You can actually come in and highlight this and then click all caps, right?
And then show them the drop-down menu right there.
Yeah, you can select everything. Yeah, so perfect. You use this. So if I want, I can select everything and say, okay, I only want first letter caps. So it just does everything first letter caps. It does everything so fast for you. So you can write everything out really quickly. I can do everything all caps. You can do this with any of these fields in here. If you have limits, let's say the title, you only want to have 100 characters. I can click right here. Right now it's set to 2,000, and I can lower this number to whatever number I want, let's say 100. And when I start typing out, as soon as I get to 100, it won't let me type anymore. It'll stop. So that keeps you within the parameters that you have for your product. So Scribbles is really cool. You can also import if I have these keywords, let's say I type in, let's do a baby bib or baby bibs. I'll grab this first one right here, grab the ASIN, go back to, oops. There we go. Where did Scribbles go? Is it right here?
Right there.
Oh, sorry, it's being covered by the interface for Zoom. Okay. Oh. I'm like, where is it? Okay.
Click it.
Yeah. All right, so this is cool. I'm gonna have to move this interface around. So there's this import listing button right here. Okay, so I already have keywords in here. If I import the listing, okay, I type in the ASIN, hit import. Okay, this is a way to start with something. Okay, if this is maybe this is one of your other listings and you don't want to copy and paste everything in, or maybe you want to use a competitor's listing. I say, yep, I want to import this. Imported data will overwrite current fields. That's fine. The one field that doesn't overwrite is what was in here. Okay, so now it's imported their title, their descriptions, all their bullet points. It doesn't get the back end keywords because we can't get that from someone's listing. But check this out. All the keywords I have up here, it's showing me which keywords this listing has used. So I already know all the keywords that they've used in it, but I can see that they're not using, unless they have this in their back end, they're not using these keywords in here. I'm not saying these are good keywords. We just very quickly copied and pasted these in as an example. Right. But I can say, oh, they're not using plastic. And maybe that's an important thing for some reason. So that's a cool way of doing it, guys. And then, of course, you have history, so you can work on stuff, and it will keep track of everything that you've worked on. And we're going to be adding a lot of new features in the future that allow you to create categories to start storing all of these things, and so you can come back to them later on. So
love it.
All right, so that's Scribbles. Any questions on that one?
Nope.
All right, and then we're just going to very quickly get through some of the other stuff. 5K checker. I mentioned that's an index checker. So basically, you put your ASIN in there. Okay, this is the baby bibs one, and I can say, let's say you want to see if you're ranking for baby bibs. I'm going to type in Darth Vader as an example. We used that earlier. If I hit check keywords, it's now going to check these keywords to see if Amazon sees this as relevant to my listing. And it finishes, and it says baby bibs, yes. Bibs, yes. Over here, Darth Vader, no.
Oh, poor Darth.
Yeah. So what you can do is you can start pasting your keywords in here and then check them, and you'll find out very quickly if you're indexed or not. If not, that might mean that you need to either add it to your listing or move it to your title or your bullet points, do that kind of thing. So pretty powerful. Keyword tracker, man, I use this like crazy. I think it's super underutilized. You can see all your products here. Let's say I've got this dog leash here. Very quickly, it shows me my rank change. This is all your keywords over that you have in here, how many positions they've moved up or down. You can see this is not so good. They're in red, negative. You can star things with colors. So if I'm doing Facebook promotions, I can say those are going to be yellow, right? If I click here, I can put whatever I want. I can type in the text that I want. And I also can type in notes. You can see I have a note here, relaunch done. If I click on this, it actually shows me in June. If I want more details, typically what I've done, if I click into the graph to see how it was ranking, I can see where I was ranking for each day. There's a green line over here, right? Mm-hmm. If I mouse over that, I can see on June 18th, it says, did a 50% promo on Facebook. And then I can see, boom, 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 it's spiked up, right? So you can actually do this with your assistants, whoever you're working with when you're doing campaigns, so that when you come back later on and you've forgotten, like, man, what did we do for this one? Just click in here and you have notes that you've actually specifically added to know what caused these jumps and these changes. And if you do something that causes it to tank, like you can type in there, moved keyword from title into bullet point. And if you see it tank, you can come back and see that note and adjust from there, if that makes sense. Okay.
Very cool.
So that's keyword tracker. Hijacker alert. Again, you're going to do this only if you want to be text messaged or emailed when somebody jumps on your listing to try to snipe your sales away. Okay, so we won't really get into that. We'll talk about inventory protector, and then that's I can't really show you that. That's you do that once and then you're done. And then Refund Genie, we talked about. Essentially, I got about 20 grand back, over 20 grand, just from stuff that Amazon hadn't reimbursed me. So that's kind of the tool sets here. And then there's one more thing I want to show you. This is super cool. Let's just say that I'm going to get into, I'm trying to find something that has a bad rating. Nothing real. The baby bibs apparently have really good ratings. Okay, but let's just say that this is a product that it's a good rating still. It's 4 stars. What I could do, let's say I click into this, okay, and I'm going to source this product. Let's just say, I wouldn't because this price point is crazy. But if this was a product that I wanted, what I would want to do is I want to come in with 5 stars. Okay, I want to make sure that my product is awesome. So I want to find out what the problems are with this product here so that I can get my factory to make sure that I don't have those. And the way we used to do that is we'd say, okay, we'd hire a VA for, like $5 an hour. They'd come down and they would go through all these reviews and they would copy all the reviews into an Excel sheet, okay, and go to the next page and copy it. And then we'd have them actually put the reasons, the top reasons why something is getting 1 star, 2 star, 3 star reviews. Like, oh, it smells really bad, or strong smell, or it's too small, or it's like whatever it is, right? We don't have to do that anymore. Now, when you have the Chrome extension, you click on X-ray, on the Chrome extension, and there's this review downloader button. Okay, so if I click this, I now have these parameters here where I can say, okay, I only want 1, 2, and 3 star reviews. I'm going to turn off 4 and 5. I can select images if I want only things with images or dates, but we're going to leave it like this: 1, 2, and 3. We hit extract. This thing has 1,100 reviews. Okay, we're doing this real time. You can see this. It took about, it'd take about 4 hours for our VA to actually go through and do this manually on one product. This just did in like 5 seconds. It's done. Okay, I have all the 1, 2 star, 3 star reviews, and we would have our VA do this to like 10 products. Okay, so that's going to be 40 hours. That's a 40-hour work week. Okay, we're paying them $5 an hour. That's $200 to do this. You just did this in 10 seconds. You have your VA do this anyways, and you get them all done. But check this out. Now you can go through and you can read these things and find out what the problems are. Okay. They do not absorb drool well. Okay, maybe that's a problem. You got to look into that and see if you can get different material. Way too small. Just go through here, and then your VA can then add these problems to an Excel sheet, and you can go through, talk to your factory, and say, look, we need to do this, this, and this. And then when you come on the market, assuming let's just say this was a 3-star product, you now have a 5-star product, right? And that's the one instance where the number of reviews don't matter. You can have 30 reviews at 5 stars, and somebody else can have 1,000 reviews at 3 stars, and people will click into your listing at that point because they want a 5-star. They don't want to deal with a 3-star product. So this is super powerful, guys, and it's built into the Chrome extension. You can use this immediately after you watch this.
Okay, now here's the idea for your next Helium 10 tool, and I get a cut of the royalties if you decide.
Okay, what is it?
Make all of these somehow where you could highlight way too small and it saves it somewhere, or only for newborns, doesn't absorb drool, and when you highlight it, it saves it to a clipboard. Then you have them all in one spot, just this list of problems, or maybe you're trying to find out the things that people love about it, so you can make sure to include those. It's all in a list. You can either send it to your supplier and say, make sure we don't have these problems, or you can give it to your copywriter or use it yourself if you're writing the listings yourself, so that you can make sure that you overcome these objections in your copy. But now everything is contained in one handy little list. There you go.
Yeah, that's a good way of doing it. I like that idea. We do have an export button as well. So if you export this, I don't know if you saw it, but it basically loaded it. It created a CSV file, and here it is right here. We'll expand this a little bit. So your VA could then go through, read all of the can read all of this, and anything that he thinks or she thinks is something that's relevant to you, they can just paste it into a new column. So it's not quite what you were saying, where you can do it kind of immediately right there, but this is a fast way. They don't have to actually copy and paste anything into Excel. It's all right here, and we try to make that as easy as possible. Yeah, cool. So it's a cool way of doing it. But let's not save that. But yeah, you can see how fast it is. And again, in the Chrome extension, we have other stuff when we're on the Amazon page. We have an ASIN Grabber as well, which is really cool. So for example, let's just say it's Halloween, right? So if we go to let's say Halloween mask. Let's say if it's 10 days before Halloween, or 5, people are buying Halloween stuff like crazy, and I can start typing in let's say I want to sell Halloween products. I could type in these keywords, and I can go down or go to the Chrome extension. I can click on ASIN Grabber, And what it's going to do is it's going to go out and it's going to grab all the top ASINs that are showing up for that keyword phrase. Okay. It's going to get over 100 of them, I believe. So it's going beyond 100. And then I'm going to save that. Okay. And I did Halloween masks, and I'm going to do Halloween costumes, and I'm going to do anything related to Halloween. Now get this, about next year, I'm going to go back about 4 or 5 months before this, and I'm going to start researching all the Halloween data and see what the top sellers were. Okay. Because after Halloween, everything's going to go back to normal, and it's going to be out of order, and it's not going to be good. I can come in here, I can look at this and go, oh, wow, a horse mask was the number one seller by far. Sold 70,000. I'm going to stock up on horse masks. Right? And you wouldn't know that, because if I do a search right now, let me close this here. This isn't going to be, this is a number one, or this is sponsored ad, sorry. This is a dog face mask. This is number one right now for Halloween masks. But once Halloween starts, this is probably not going to be number one. Whatever's number one is going to float to the top. Right now, we're months away. So this just sells more for that term than the rest of them. Yeah. But I want to know what's going to be the hottest thing during Halloween. So this is a really cool forward-looking feature or tool that nobody's using, right?
That's cool.
Yeah. So anyways, those are the tools for Helium 10. And we're going to be adding some really cool stuff in the next 90 days. So keep your eyes peeled. And we're always improving everything that we have here.
Yeah, you started out with just a couple of tools, and now it's how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. So
12 here, and I think 8 more with the Chrome extension.
Yep. In the Chrome extension too. So absolutely awesome. Yeah. I love it. I thank you so much for the tour. It has been very educational for me. I mean, like I said, we've used a lot of these tools before in what we do, and it's nice to see the rest of these. Also, I send people over to Helium 10 all the time, because what you guys do is so awesome, and the quality of the tools is there. They're reliable, they're dependable, they are highly useful, and you've got some really unique features incorporated into yours that other tool suites just don't have.
Yeah. And I think it's also important to mention that, especially with keyword tools, guys, because that is every keyword phrase is a little sign that points to your Amazon listing, right? And if you don't have those right, if those signs, if people aren't finding those signs, they can't find your listing. This search volume is super important. If you use another tool, and it pains me to see some really big influencers out there promoting tools that I know for a fact are using Google search data, right, to show the search volume. And it misleads you, because baby bibs for boys on Google might show 1,000 results, and it might show something that has almost no search results as 20,000 searches. And if you take that and you use that in your listing as your title, your main title keyword, and then you wonder, why am I not getting any sales? That's the reason why. So we're very proud that we have actual Amazon data, and that it's accurate, and it can make a big difference. Once we started implementing it, we completely changed all of our keywords once we came out with this tool, because we had it all wrong, because we were using Google because that's what was available.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So as we go on, more and more improvements being added. Super. Yep. Manny Coates from Helium 10, thanks so much for taking the time to show me around. I really appreciate it. It is nice to talk to you. You and I just bump into each other for 15 seconds at a time at shows or whatnot. So it was nice to spend a little bit of time with you, and I really appreciate you showing us.
Yeah, thank you for having me on, and I hope somebody watching this right now got some value out of it. Some eyes were open, like, some opportunities, and they can benefit. Like I said, the Chrome extension they can download right now. They go use it for free. Do you want? Well, you'll give them some links for that.
Yeah, I'll put some links below and some additional information for everybody that's watching, so that way they can I'll put some timestamps in there too for the video if they're interested in a particular tool, so they can scroll over and see.
Cool.
Awesome. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Talk
soon. Take care. Bye-bye.